Hi, it's Debbie and Poppy with the Question Queens. Welcome back. And we have no topic. Today, we're just going to chit chat. Chit chat. We do that better than anybody.
Uh-oh, that reminds me of a joke I heard.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's hear it.
So, why are chickens so funny? Why
I
you got
don't know. Because-
And that reminds me of another.
oh gosh, that's such a great dad joke. Because.
And then one of the classics from my family that we really, really love
Oh yeah.
are who are the sexiest animals on the farm?
I don't know.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what that came. Where does that come from?
Boom chicken pow wow. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, did I tell you that this guy in the comments, he says, "Hey, I really enjoyed your video, blah, and I can already tell you have a marshmallow heart." And this, and I'm like, "Oh, I
I
have
have a
a marshmallow
marshmallow
heart."
heart.
Okay,
As a
so in
dude
my
buys them
mind,
for me at the dollar store.
you have to understand. This is how my brain works. The moment I heard it, I'm thinking of the little ornaments that are the s'mores, the little marshmallows on the graham cracker with the chocolate, and they have the little corn cob thing. And then I'm like, I have a marshmallow heart. And then, hold on, it gets better. I'm telling Allie, and I'm like, hold on a second. Listen, peep, 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 peep. She goes, what are you doing? I said, it's a marshmallow peep heart for Easter.
Oh, we are crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Which what I think of is that what did it start with? I think it started with chocolate marshmallow pumpkins,
Oh,
maybe? I can't remember what it started with, but it
uh-huh.
used to be a big treat. It was probably the eggs with Easter. It was
Oh, I
a treat.
remember. Yes, and you love those.
I loved them.
You love them
And Jupe would always get them for me when he was out buying candy because that's what he likes
because
to do.
that's what he does.
But Russell Stover's ass got onto us. And so now Russell Stover's ass
Oh my
makes
gosh.
something marshmallow chocolate covered every holiday. Now it's a
Now
Christmas
it's everything.
and it's a heart and it's an egg and it's a tree. And I'm like, it's all now I got marshmallow hearts all the time.
I remember you saying something about Halloween. You're like, yeah, I've been eating those all the time. And then, oh, no, I don't have to eat them anymore because Halloween's over.
Finally. But now they bring them back. So when I thought I
Christmas.
was done with the marshmallow pumpkins, then it became Christmas ornaments.
What's in January? I don't think there's anything, but they already have Valentine's
They
Day
already have
candy
the
out.
hearts out.
I know. I
By
was
the
in
time I eat
Walgreens.
all the hearts, it'll be time for eggs.
You know those Cadbury bunny, Cadbury mini eggs, the mini
Yes.
chocolate eggs? I'm in Walgreens and I'm like, get away from me, Satan.
Mhm.
Cause I can get those and then I'm like, who ate all those? Oh, it's only me here.
I know. Well,
That's how I am about chocolate chip cookies though.
mhm.
The Chips Ahoy,
Yes.
I cannot get those bad boys. If they come anywhere near me, I'm like, who ate all the cookies? I'm like, oh, you did, fatty. That's it. That would be
Yes.
me.
Right. Well, and like if left to my own devices, I buy one Cadbury egg a season
Oh,
and I eat it and it's great.
except
Come
Jupe.
home with 3 packs.
Now,
He's like,
see,
"I'll split them."
you have to tell them who Jupe is and like, because they don't
He's my
know,
boyfriend and he spoils me.
and he
His
spoils
love
her
language is food.
ridiculously. And
And he likes to do things for me.
all you have to do is say, I really like those. That's it. And then she comes home to an entire house decorated with all those things in every
Yes.
room. Like, oh, here, honey, here's your food for tonight. And it's 7 different little things you've said you liked in the last 2
Yay.
months.
Yes.
But tell him what you did about the remember you had him delivered and he came to the door and you had
Oh gosh, we should fight that. You should react to that video. Somewhere
that
there's a
is a
video.
great.
His favorite candy is runts, and I don't. All of a sudden, they were hard to find, and so I bought them from Amazon. And he came home and found them on the porch, and the ring caught his adorable reaction.
It's great. You should send me that video,
Yeah, so we
and
can
then I
insert
can
it here.
tack it on to the end of this one
Okay.
so everybody can see it because it is his reaction is so cute. All over Runts Candy.
Yeah.
Like you would have never this, but you know what? Hey, that's the key right there. Key to a great relationship. Actually pay attention to what they say.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And you all do that very well.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
been
we do.
nice to watch you two from afar
Mhm.
and how you all have like you just really enjoy each other. It's really nice.
We do. It's a good time.
So, why are women so complicated?
Mm. Honestly, I do not know, Debbie. I don't know. I don't think it has to be so complicated.
We're so complicated.
I'm kind of on the masculine,
We're so
the
complicated.
feminine masculine scale. I'm kind of very harsh in the middle. So
I can
there's a
get like
lot of
that.
this nonsense way over here on the feminine scale that I don't understand.
My empathy is way on the emotional side, but I can get on the logical, pragmatic side where I'm so literal sometimes you can't, if you ask me a question, I'm literally like, hey, how are you? I have to really consider it.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay. Like, and nobody really even wants the answer to that. They're just like, hey, how are you? It's just saying hi.
Right.
I remember one time, this is after New York and I broke up. People would go, hey, how are you? I don't know. How are you? That's exactly what I would say. And because I couldn't actually say I was okay because it was a lie and I knew I wasn't. But nobody responded back.
Right.
They didn't even realize I said it.
I went through a traumatic thing one time, and this is a little dark. Okay, I worked with a girl. Long story short, blah blah blah. They found some dead babies at her house.
They said, what?
I don't know. She was in an abusive
Did you
relationship.
say they found dead babies at her house?
So it's a longer story, but the short
Okay,
version
all right.
is she was in an abusive relationship. When she finally got to leave,
Oh my
the guy
God.
called the police and it's like, oh, look what's in this suitcase and look what's in this fireplace. And so it was horrifying. Okay. And so
I'm horrified.
it's horrifying. And for it feels like months after all of that, like I found out about all of this, people would say, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm all right, but this girl I worked with killed her babies. I was just like,
You were traumatized. I'm
I
traumatized.
was traumatized.
You were traumatized.
Yeah.
That's
and again, it
terrible.
goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how you think you know people, but really you're just projecting on them, projecting on them, projecting on them. And so this girl and I had worked together. We had lunch together. We got hired right around the same time. We'd had lunch together plenty of times. And she wasn't actively in this relationship. She'd already gone out of it, and whatever had happened, but her court date had happened. And so she wasn't going to be able to work there anymore because now she had a felony. And
what about her serving time?
Apparently she was from a rich family that made it go. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe it was him.
Maybe it
was abused. I don't know. I could not. None of that's my fight to fight, but yeah. So I understand that sometimes you're just like, yeah, I'm not okay.
Thank you know somebody. Well, and I was thinking about that today because of the videos I did last night. And you know what? How many people on any given day do you think you run into that have cancer? That you don't know.
That's right.
Because it's on the inside.
One of the things that happened to me as a young person that kind of changed the way or shaped the way I approached the world was my grandma was a big reader and I was a big reader. We read all the time. So it's super quiet in her house. We just read books all the time. And she had all the Reader's Digest. Remember Reader's Digest?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I love the Reader's Digest. I read them all. But of all the hundreds of Reader's Digest I read, one of them had this little story, and I can't remember what the context of it was, but it made a profound impact on my life. And it was about a woman who had lost a bunch of weight, and people would say, "Oh, you've lost so much weight. You look great." And she's like, "Yeah, I had cancer."
Oh no. Okay, this is our weight loss expert.
That's,
Um,
that's not our advice.
don't do that. That's not the way to do it. Oh no, that's terrible. I remember when I was probably 19, maybe 18, I was in Kmart. Don't even have Kmart anymore.
Right.
Um, and there was a lady, and I said, "Oh, you're having a baby," and we were by the cards, and she went, "I'm not pregnant." I'm like, "Well, you really look like it." I
I
was
had
as a kid. I mean, but I was just like, I was in shock that I didn't know that women could look like that and not be pregnant. And
oh,
then following it up with, wow, you really look like it. Like,
yeah,
that's
that's a,
where honesty gets you right there. Like,
yeah.
just shut up. Yeah, I was mortified. And then she's like, yeah, go kiss me the whole
Yes, because
look.
she wants to kill you. She
Of
wants to
course, then I
destroy
told my mom, she's like,
everyone.
you never ask a woman that. I'm like, what?
Never.
But how are you going to be happy for them if they are? You
They'll
wait for
tell
them to
you.
let you know.
They'll let you know.
So after that, I never did.
Yeah. You know, I had somebody do that to me one time, and I wasn't pregnant, and
Oh
I did not
no.
correct them. I just wondered every now and then if they ever wondered what happened to that baby,
Oh,
or if they ever figured it out. I can remember playing
I've
this
never
game
had
every
that
day.
happen, but I can imagine it's got to be pretty mortifying.
Good for
Like,
you.
yeah, that's got to be mortifying. I felt bad. I mean, I still feel bad. Well, I don't have memories like you pluck things out of your memory. Well, I was 10 years old, 10 and a half,
Yep.
reading a Reader's Digest. When, like,
Yep.
how do you even remember this stuff? I remember things that traumatized me. I was very upset. Oh, well. You
Oh,
live, you learn. But I
yep.
did think about that whole cancer thing. Like, a lot of people have cancer. And
Yes.
how many, like, statistically, I'm asking this literally, like, how many people do you think in a given week you run into that have cancer that you don't know they have cancer? What, I mean, you don't know unless they tell
I
you.
don't know. Yeah, and I mean, and there's in that number, are you talking about ones that they don't know either? And then if you add like the skin cancers,
Oh,
ooh,
yeah,
that's a lot. I'm sure it's
that's
a lot.
true. That is true. But even like if you just go off the ones that do have it, they know
Have
about
an
it.
actual oncologist.
Let's say there's 5. That's more than what you're thinking.
It's more than what you're thinking.
It is.
Yep.
I don't think about it all the time. And I don't go out and meet people like, oh my gosh, she might have cancer. I wonder if we treated everybody like that. Like they did have cancer. We would have a much nicer world. People would be so
I
much more
mean, people should
nicer
just.
to other people.
I mean, definitely, and so disturbing this statistic that I heard one time
Hmm.
is that by the time girls are in the 6th grade, 1 in 12 has been molested. And so when my boys went to
Hmm.
middle school, I told them that. And I said, you don't need to know what's going on in people's houses, but just know if these girls seem weird, they might be having a hard time.
Well,
So just be nice to people.
unfortunately, I think now it's 1 in 4.
Oh gosh.
I know it's even worse.
Mm.
So 1 out of every 4. But that was good that you said that to your boys.
Yeah, well, because middle school kids are rough and mean.
I was that was a very yeah. I went to jail.
Oh man.
Do I look like a jail person?
What's a jail person look like? We
I
ain't buying
don't
all
know.
them stereotypes.
I would say if most people had to guess whether or not I went to jail or not, they would say no.
Right.
I don't know. Oh, there's Maya. But yes, I did. I got into a lot of trouble, but that was a hard time in my life. It's a rough time.
Now, and middle school kids, like I did things. The sheriff called my mom about me. I didn't go to jail.
Really?
Yes.
For what? Or do you want to tell? You don't have to tell. I'll tell my story if you want me to, but
I mean, mine's really super short. So, me and another girl and 2 boys, figures, right?
right.
Where we were living at was a big old circle. I don't know what kind of nonsense this one couple was going. I was thinking I might get to kiss this dude. And we were walking ahead, and then they yell, "Run!" And we look back, and they are throwing somebody's mail on the ground.
Oh dear.
And this is when my mom started really figuring out she was not sure how she felt about me because the sheriff called her. I didn't know that. I just ran. They said, "Run." I ran. Then when I get home, my mom's like, "What'd you do today?" And I was like, just hung out with some friends, nothing really. She's like, "What else did you do?"
Oh,
And I said,
that's where,
I,
did you pick up on that?
I said, "I don't know. What'd you hear?" And she said she was so much more mad at me about not wanting to just come clean than she was about what actually happened.
I don't
That I
know. What
wasn't
did you
really
hear?
involved in.
That's like the funny. I don't know. What did you hear? What? I heard it all. Now I want to hear it from you.
That's basically what she said.
Yeah, that's would have been my
She's like,
response.
"Well, I'll give you a hint. The sheriff called."
Oh my goodness. So were they just stealing their mail?
Stealing it. They were just throwing it on the ground. They were just being
Oh, just being
ridiculous.
punks.
Punks.
Well, mine was a little bit more complicated than yours, and I
Mhm.
wasn't quite as innocent as you. But that was when the whole, uncle stuff happened. But also my parents got divorced.
Mhm.
That was a really bad time in my life. Like, I was, yeah. But anyway, it was attempted arson.
And what did you set on fire?
The school.
And why did you set it on fire?
Well, I didn't actually mean to. I mean, the intentions were not to set it on. Well, it was actually, but not really. We were all cutting class.
Mhm.
There was a group of girlfriends, and we were cutting class. And, after the first 5 or 10 minutes that you're cutting class and you're sitting in the
I
bathroom,
think this is boring.
really bored. And we smoked too sometimes, like whenever we could find cigarettes. And so I started lighting, there was an empty toilet paper roll. I started lighting it and blowing it out. I'm really bored at this point. So
Mhm.
then I burnt all that and I went to a full toilet paper and started lighting that and blowing it out. So when we all started doing it. Well, I did it really, but
Mhm.
so anyway, the bell rings and all right, see you later. And the next thing I know, the fire alarm goes off. Everybody evacuates from school and they call us into the office and take us back in while everyone's still outside. And I'm not saying a word. Like, I've seen movies. I know you don't do that. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even go to school here. What are you talking? So,
Wasn't me.
what me? What did any of us? I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, they put all of us in handcuffs and walked us out in front of the entire school.
Oh my gosh.
The entire school. And I was a little kid, like little kid. And yeah, and they took us downtown and put us in jail. And I'm like, I don't care if you keep me, just don't call my dad. Please don't call my dad. Like he'll kill me. Don't call my dad. And they're like, "What's your last name? What's your phone number?" I said, "I'm not telling you. You'll call my dad." Yeah, well, they got all my info. Yeah, I guess who shows up? Mom and dad that are getting divorced.
Mhm.
Can you imagine what that fight was like?
Oh,
You're not doing a good job as her mother. Well, you're never
um,
there because you left us. And oh my gosh. Well, then
yeah.
the judge, get this, the judge decides that we need to learn a lesson, which was honestly the best lesson he could have ever given us. So kudos to you, Judge.
Good, good,
But
good.
he made us all stay in juvenile detention overnight. Now,
Uh-huh.
I literally got a concrete slab and thinner than a paper towel,
Mhm.
and there is no pillow.
Right.
And I was freezing all night. And somebody was crying, "Help me, get me out of here," all night long. I did not sleep. I can't even imagine what my mom went through, but happy birthday, Mom.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, fast forward 3 months later, we all had to go to court. And guess what? I mean, my luck is just, it's so overflowing. I got chicken pox, so I couldn't go. And all my friends blamed me,
Uh-huh.
which technically I was lighting it,
Yeah.
you know, but we were all lighting it. Anyway, so I ended up having to write, it was a 3,000 word essay of why it's dangerous to play with fire. That was it.
And that was the end of your arson, huh?
That was the end of my crime spree, my
Okay.
arson interests, my yeah. It's
Don't
off my
play with
record.
matches.
Do what?
Don't play with matches.
Oh, we had a lighter. We were really, yeah. We were fancy. We had lighters. But anyway, all right. Well, I think that we're going to wrap this up. That's the video. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you really enjoyed our conversations. I don't even know what we talked about, but it was a whole lot, and you learned a little bit more about us. And leave us a comment. We love reading them. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out. And we'll see you real soon. All right. Bye-bye.